Hey, warrior friends, welcome to today's warrior conversation. I am so excited to introduce you to Justin and Kevin, the founders of Battle Tested. You know, they talk a lot about how we're all fighting a battle. So, how are you fighting yours? That's what we're going to unpack in today's warrior conversation. And I'm so excited to introduce you to them. So, we'll get this party started in just a moment. And as we do,
Hey, Emily.
you know what I think is going on? We're just being tested in our
Yeah,
battles of life.
I think
Yeah.
so.
So,
I
yeah,
think that's what it is. Yeah, how fitting.
I know. You got to throw in some puns every once in a while. So,
Yeah.
for those of you who are joining today's Warrior Conversation, thank you so much. I can't wait for you to meet Justin and Kevin, the founders of Battle Tested. And we're going to kick off this conversation with just a quick introduction. So, Justin and Kevin, if someone was not familiar with who you are, introduce yourselves.
All right, I guess I'll go first. So I'm Justin Hobbs. I'm the co-founder of Battle Tested. And just a little background, I was a collegiate track and field athlete, All-American hurdler, and went on to coach in college. From there, was pretty successful, got a great platform, several individual and team national championships from there. Went on to a show called American Ninja Warrior, where I was a two-time competitor on the show, season 10 and season 11. And from there, just had an amazing network and experiences that I've had from coaching, athleticism and American Ninja Warrior. That's and we'll get into, I'm sure, but it's given me an awesome platform going forward.
Yeah, awesome. And I'm Kevin Irelan. I'm the original founder of Battle Tested, and I don't have quite the athletic background that my friend here has, but we're definitely doing a lot of more athletic type things now with Battle Tested and through our group and community.
I love it. That's awesome. I don't have the same athletic background either. So we're in the same boat. It's going to be good. Hey, and for those of you who potentially are joining from Justin's Instagram and Battle Tested, if we are new friends, my name is Emily. I'm the founder of BecomingMeTV. We share people's stories and how they're becoming who God made them to be. I'm an author, podcast host, and speaker, and I'm just passionate about becoming me. So, all right, let's dive into this conversation. Obviously, you've got cool gear on that says Battle Tested. The title of this conversation is Battle Tested. You have a company called Battle Tested. I mean, what is Battle Tested? You got to just tell us what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll jump in here. So, Battle Tested is really our way of reaching anyone who's overcome a great amount of adversity and has come out on the other side of that stronger because of it.
That's awesome. And what do you do? Like, I know you have a clothing line and you're supporting different, groups and nonprofits. So tell me a little bit about the mission and some of the mechanics of how it works.
Right. So we just try to connect with a community above an apparel company or a clothing company. It's more of a community that we're trying to establish here just recognizing that everyone has a battle, and those that have gone through it and come out on the other side and come out stronger, and those that might be going through it, or those that are kind of discouraged and just looking for someone to help show them how to encouragement to get through it, and then how they got through it, and help them find kind of their 1%. So you would speak to develop the strengths and the talents that they're going to need through getting through that battle, and just life in general as life comes at you, just knowing how to better fight, really.
So I can hear the commitment and the passion in both of y'all's voices for Battle Tested. And like you said, Justin, it's more than a brand or a company. It really is a community, and you're investing in people and who they're becoming. So I'm curious as to the story behind Battle Tested. Like, what sparked all of this?
Yeah. So in 2013, I lost my father in a car accident, and that sent me on a very difficult journey, put me on a dark road. There was a lot of addiction in that time, alcohol and drugs, and just overcoming something so heavy and getting to that point of realizing that I can't do this alone. And that's really what led me to my journey of finding Christ, finding who I am through Christ, and then that journey of starting to get stronger from there.
Wow, I mean, Kevin, thank you for sharing that. And it's incredible that something that is so tragic has now really sparked how you're investing in other people and the battles that we all face. And so I'm really proud of you, who you are, who you're becoming, and it's just a big deal what you're doing. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. So Justin, how did you get involved in Battle Tested?
Yeah, so it goes back to a group that Kevin and I are both a part of called Mighty Men, and Kevin started it a little bit before I did. I joined last year in June through a friend that invited me, and Kevin and I met there. And Mighty Men has been such an impactful ministry in our lives, both individually and then collectively as us being friends, kind of growing together through this ministry in the past year. And so, man, Kevin kind of just told me about what he's doing, and it really clicked with me. I was just admired kind of his mindset with, one, creating it, and then two, just his outreach of what he wanted to do through his experience. You know, it's so easy to turn the other way once you kind of get through something. Like, all right, I'm through it, it's fine. But then the encouragement and, you know, what I received, it just inspired me of just hearing his testimony. And when he asked me to join, we had a conversation last December, and it was almost a no-brainer. And I was very, I guess, humbled and honored that he would even ask me to join with my network and adding to it. And, you know, getting started in January, we really ramped it up. And so now you know, what you're seeing is we're learning as we go. You know, we're still figuring out the game plan, but it's been pretty amazing, the feedback that we've had so far and the people that have reached out to us and like, hey, we kind of, you know, have something similar going on. And so just all that to say, it's been very humbling from the point that we just met each other and what it's developed to today. It's been different week to week, which is pretty cool.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I just want to say, when I first met Justin, it was obvious for me, just because the way he loves people, the way he invests his time, and then, you know, you throw that on top of the Ninja Warrior, the athleticism, everything that I'm trying to do with Battle Tester, or was at the time, and it just worked really well.
That's awesome. I love it. And it even goes to what I've heard both of you talk about in the power of community. And so if we're better together, both of you using your gifts, your talents, your story, and investing in people just helps you run further and faster together. So I've heard you say a couple times, I've seen it on your Instagram, we're all fighting a battle. We all have a battle. So how are you fighting yours, right? And so I would love for you to just take a moment and talk to me about that statement. Like, why is it important to you? And if you were to equip like a fellow warrior with just 2 steps leaving this conversation that would encourage them as they are fighting their own battle, what would you say to that?
I could start. Yeah. You know, I think for me, something that was very pivotal in my journey was realizing that it has to be the we over me mentality. I think so many people are struggling with whether they've been through a real trauma, whether it's just depression or situational depression, but it's because they're living so much in their own mind, in their own head, and they're not getting out and serving a purpose or a higher purpose. And so I think any warrior has to have that thing they're defending back home, that reason, that why, and that why can't be you. I mean, at least it never was able to be that for me. And so I think that any warrior needs to be armed with that.
Well, that was really powerful. We need a we over me. That's a warrior mindset. I love that. Drop the mic for sure. All right, Justin, what would you add?
Yeah, so I think just to kind of piggyback off Kevin a little bit is finding a purpose bigger than yourself. And I think also not putting yourself in a situation to where you think it needs to look a certain way, and just being open to where God leads you. And just for my personal testimony, the different things that I did through, Ninja Warrior and coaching, I saw myself, 10 years ago, my life looking a lot different, but it wasn't near as fulfilling as it is today, because I kind of got out of my mindset of I need it to look like this. I want it to look like this. If I do this, then this will happen, right? And God was like, you're thinking way too small. You don't have an idea of what this Ninja Warrior platform can do for you, and different things that I've been able to do. And so I think the biggest takeaway I would say is kind of like Kevin, is like, not necessarily what you want. Now, what you want isn't a bad thing, but if you're focusing more on what you want, you're kind of missing the bigger overarching picture of what you could take away of, like, what does it mean to actually have purpose? What does it mean to actually have fulfillment, meaning in your life? And that will be so much greater than just what you think, the menial thing that you want. Not that your wants and desires or anything short of what God has given you. They've been given to you for a reason. But I think that sometimes we think it needs to look a certain way, rather than, I would say, open your mind, broaden your horizon, and don't count yourself short on, possibilities, and following your gut, you may not know why or a reason for why things have been put into your life. Maybe change that perspective and open yourself up to the possibilities of things that can happen, even if it doesn't look like what you think you want it to look like at the time. And just having that faith to just walking through that door. I think that would be my big takeaway, for just kind of believing in yourself, that you can do greater things than what you think you can, even if you can't see it. That's what faith is all about. So.
Yeah, that's so powerful. And I love how, we heard two really powerful warrior steps in, first, our warrior mindset, the we over me, and what is that driving force for yourself, right? And then being open to possibilities and believing in yourself that you can go further and farther. And I know for me and my story, pretty much all of the things that are my favorite, whether it's memories, experiences, relationships, friendships, they've been really unexpected, and they were the things that were not how I planned them to go. And so every time we open up to God's best for us, I think, like you're saying, Justin, we get stretched. We are a warrior in those circumstances and situations, and we get to experience God's best. So I love that. That's really powerful. We've talked about Battle Tested. I see y'all shirts, and I also follow you on Instagram. So I know you've got swag, you've got community, you have cool things going on. How can people connect with Battle Tested?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so right now we're very active on Instagram. That's where a lot of our focus is. So you can always follow our Instagram at Battle Tested CO. And we'd love to connect with you on there. If you want to shoot us a message, if you have any ideas for collaboration, we're all about that. We get those types of inquiries all the time. And that's our favorite part about what we do, is connecting with everyone on the outside, or that wants to know a little bit more about what we're doing, how they can get involved. Of course, you can always go to our website. Anything you purchase, we feed 10 American families through Feeding America. And we're also, I can't release all the details, but we're in the middle of a partnership with another nonprofit organization. So very excited to get that going. We're just kind of finalizing all the last details and paperwork, and then that will be an official announcement. So of course, if you go and do any kind of business with us, it's all going to go towards a greater cause. That's why we do this and what we love.
It's amazing. I love it. Is there anything else that you guys would want to share as we close today's warrior conversation?
Yeah, I guess we could do sign-offs here. I'll throw my 2 cents in here first.
Throw it in.
Yeah. This is kind of our first time doing something like this, and I think we all have great experiences. And I think my biggest takeaway is just kind of how I try to live my life and just encourage those through what I've learned, right? And that's what Battle Tested is all about, is learning from, the hardships and the good things and the bad things, and every experience, look to your takeaways. And I think my biggest takeaway, my overarching theme of just kind of how I try to live my life is, don't kind of touched on it earlier, but don't limit yourself in what you think you can do in regards to, not starting that road trip before all the lights turn green. Like, you're going to hit some red lights, right? And that's what we're doing right now. We're throwing stuff against the wall and we're seeing what sticks. And I think people that want to see what we're doing and want to be a part of the journey, we're excited to grow with everyone that sees, maybe this is something cool that I would love to get involved with. And so I just want to reach out or let everyone know that we would love to hear from you. Reach out. And then even if it's not us, that's fine. We just want you guys to know that, there's something greater out there. If this is where you're hearing it for the first time, and don't cut yourself short, because everyone has 1%. That's what Mighty Men kind of talked about and harped on these last couple of months, is everybody has that 1%. And it's up to you to find what your 1% is that no one else in this world has. And it's up to you to develop, even if it's just one person. So develop that 1%, that one person that you're able to change. And I promise you'll see your life grow and flourish and have purpose in a way that it's never had purpose. And I'm done.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. My closing would just be that everyone does have a battle, and we've connected with so many different people that have shared that battle with us. And it's not about a comparison. It's not about saying, hey, this person's been through worse. It's really just, it is important because it's your life and you're going through it. And so my biggest encouragement is just to reach out, find people, because I promise you're not alone. And there's so many people that have been through so many different struggles, and we're not the only community that's like ours. And plug in and get through it and get stronger because of it, and challenge yourself. A lot of people, they go out to do like something that's difficult. I'm just going to use an example, like a 5K. Set it to 50 miles. Why not? Like, the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to fall over on the track, and someone's going to come right up behind you and pick you up. And at least we hope that's the worst that will happen. But just continue to challenge yourself and continue to climb to the highest heights.
That's amazing encouragement. Thank you both so much just for sharing who you are, who you're becoming. And thank you for investing your lives in Battle Tested and really equipping us as we're fighting our own battles as well. So y'all who are watching now or later, we will have the links for Battle Tested in the show notes. You can easily connect with Justin, Kevin, and Battle Tested. And I'm just cheering you guys on big time. So thanks for being here today.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Emily. This was great.
Thank you. This was awesome. Talk to y'all later.
All right.
Bye.